Between the host school, Lorain County Community College, and Columbus State, traveling up I-71 on a snowy, cold February day to take on the Commodores. 4-2 early on, Lorain County Community College with the early lead. Commodores wearing their home whites, trimmed in blue and gold. The Columbus State Cougars in their road blue, trimmed in silver or gray, depending on your read of the color. This is Columbus State with the basketball. It's a carry and it's a turnover for Sarasia Nelson. Ron Yance, Brian LaRocco, along with you for today's doubleheader day of basketball action from the Ewing Activity Center. Brian, welcome.
How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderfully snowy day outside today. I walked over from the other edge of campus in the snow. Nice fluffy white flakes falling down. Exactly what it should be in mid-February. This is Kelsey Simmerly with the basketball.
The human battery. Always playing well.
Gallagher and Gannon with the first two baskets for the Commodores, and scoring for the Cougars is Sarasia Nelson. That's where we're at, 4-2, first quarter, 4 minutes gone. Cougars will have the basketball on the Commodores' turnover. Checking into the game for Columbus State off the bench, number 23, Madison Miles. Miles is a 5'7" sophomore from Thomas Worthington High School in Westerville.
And you know, Ron, I was talking to Coach G before the game started, and what he was saying is that they want to make this a defensive matchup today. This Cougars team loves to get out and run the ball, especially near the end of the quarters, so they can get on quick runs and get the tempo going at the end of the quarter, so they can go into the next quarter with a lot of momentum on their side.
Venetia Billings has checked into the game for the Commodores, and Brian, it's an interesting storyline. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Billings did not start the game. She's their double-double player. She's actually a candidate for Conference Player of the Year. And the officials were over on the bench right now looking at Venetia. Looked like they were looking at something on her hand. I don't know if she's got a cut that she suffered in warm-ups. This is pure speculation. But there was a conference, and they said, okay, she can come in. So we'll have to find out from Coach Granito maybe at halftime what the situation there was. But Commodores off to a good start without their star player
so far. And here's the storyline for Venetia Billings. Last game, she broke as she scores there, she broke the LCCC rebound record that was held back in 2015-2016 by Brandy Halowecki. For 265 rebounds, and Venetia on her last game got 269. So she's going to shatter this record this year, or she already has shattered this record. She's going to put onto it with these next few games coming up.
This is Gannon with the basketball. Gallagher with a screen goes opposite of the screen from Billings. That's the third block shot from Angelique Key. Angelique Key is a 6'2" freshman center from Seminole, Florida. Wears number 25 for Columbus State. She has been tough to handle inside as those Commodores have gone inside. She has certainly patrolled the middle with authority.
This Cougars team has a significant advantage size-wise. They're all taller and they're all a little bit thicker than our Commodores team as they come into this game today.
Billings is the tallest Commodore at 5'9", and Columbus State goes 6'2", 5'9", 5'9", 5'9", 5'9", 5'7". As Brian pointed out, nearly every one of them is 5'9" or taller. Haley Sprouse had a great game on Wednesday night here inside the Ewing Activity Center.
17 points, right? I believe so.
Sprouse is in the top 5 all time and made 3-point shots, and she just added to it. Timeout on the floor, Columbus State. It's 9-2. Brian, let's just kind of keep it here. Set folks up a little bit for this game since we came in progress. Columbus State comes into the game. There's a look at their huddle. 14-5 on the season. They're 5-2 in conference play. They have spent most of the season ranked nationally in the Division III top 20 poll. Commodores of Lorain County Community College come into the game 16 losses, and they've actually been playing very well of late. Going into Wednesday night's game, they had won 3 of their last 6. including, a couple of nice, impressive wins at Hocking, Bryant, Stratton, and Clark State. Those were their last 3 wins in their last 6 games. Had a real good game on Wednesday night against Owens. Owens is the defending Division III national runner-up. And, so that's a program that is historically good and very good again this year. 4 of the players that played in that national championship game are back on that Owens club. And Commodores lost by double digits, but they were in the game for most of the game. They played well. So they come into today with a little bit of confidence, and they'll need it against this very good Columbus State team.
This Lorain County squad, and as they're running up and as they're not used to running on this sort of large court.
Simmerly with a steal. Follows a nice assist that she had to Kelsey Gannon on the last basket for the Commodores. They're up 11-2 over the Cougars. Foul on the floor. Foul will go against number 20 for Columbus State. That's Malia Walder. It will be Malia's first.
And I just got an update. V was out because her nails were too long.
I knew they were looking at her hands, and I thought, is it a cut? Was it did it require some sort of a butterfly, stitch or some sort of bandage? It was the nails. Nails too long. So there's a whistle. Did Kelsey slip or was she tripped? The officials are talking over it. Will it be a travel or will it be a foul? We'll find out in a moment. Looks like it's going to be a foul because they're going to maybe just an inadvertent, I'm not sure what. They're giving the ball back to Lorain County Community College, so it's neither a foul nor a turnover.
It seemed like she tripped, and they were looking to see if it was inadvertent by the Cougars there.
Checking in, Brandis Smith. Good to see Brandis back. She has been out with a dislocated shoulder. It's heavily wrapped. It's her right shoulder. She has not played in, it's been at least 2 weeks. So she's a great guard, good ball handler, plays good defense.
She's been a big loss for this team because before she went out with her injury, she was the leading scorer coming off the bench for the Commodores.
Averaging 12 points per game. Billings fighting for that rebound. Smith will chase down the loose ball.
Looked like that was a XFL pass. Going
they debuted. Was it last night? Was it
no, they debuted today.
Today. I think the commissioner of the XFL is a Cleveland guy, Oliver Luck. Sprouse with a long 3 that did not go. Cougars will chase it down. This is Nelson with a basketball. Working against Sprouse. Rebound by Key. Cougars will keep it. Foul's going to go against Smith. Brandis Smith will pick up her. Actually, they're going to call it on Haley Sprouse. Every time I see 2 players in the same spot, I always pick the wrong one that they call the foul on. First foul for Sprouse. Now in the game for Lorain County Community College, Zaya Moore. Moore, a 5'5" first-year player from John F. Kennedy High School in Cleveland.
She's the, I like to call her the Charger because once she starts getting charged up is when she starts making the big plays. Human microwave.
Heating it up. Got to watch out. Zion might shoot it out there.
She's got that Kobe range.
Smith trying to control loose ball. Billings fighting for it, along with Bates. This is Bates with it.
That was a good stop from Gannon.
Gannon with another stepping in the passing lane and stealing the ball. Gallagher tying it up, along with Malia Walder.
Possession Cougars.
Cougars will have it. Possession arrow in their favor. 11-2. Minute 11 left in this opening quarter. High screen by Key. Sets up an open look for a 3. Billings grabs the rebound.
She just keeps adding on to that record.
Well, she really does. I mean, she's been in the game for maybe 4 minutes, and I think she's got 4 rebounds already. Shot clock's at 17, game clock's at 45. Zaya with the floater.
Ooh, that was a big teardrop from Zai Moore.
About 17-footer, the teardrop.
So that's a Derrick Rose move from when he was from when his knees weren't so bad.
A nice pass by Mikhail Bates to her teammate Angelique Key. Key with the easy bucket, but it was all made possible by that Bates dribble drive that drew the defense. Smith with the long three. Zaya Moore tying it up in the backcourt. Going to call the foul on Zaya. Well, you got to applaud her effort, though.
She's heating up. She's getting ready to start popping these threes from half court.
Zaya Moore, her first, team third.
One-handed pass, Bates down the floor, ball stolen by Gannon. And that'll wrap up the opening quarter. It's a good one for Lorain County Community College. They're up 9, 13-4 after a quarter over the Cougars of Columbus State. In our quarter break here, we're going to introduce you to some of our nurse aides in training at our branch campus at Lorain High School in Lorain, Ohio.
Michaela Stevens.
I actually graduated with 2 of my college degrees before I graduated high school. I'm proud that I did that. Not a lot of people do that. My parents actually both graduated from Lorain County Community College with their associate's degrees. My grandmother received her degree from here as well, and my grandfather came to Lorain County Community College. So it's definitely running in the family. I'm Michaela Stevens. I'm from Grafton, Ohio. I became a student of Lorain County Community College through Midview High School. They provided a College Credit Plus program that I took part in starting my sophomore year. I am very intrigued by the way that the human brain works. I would like to become a behavioral analyst psychologist. I would want to work in the law enforcement field. Next fall, I will be in the university partnership with Cleveland State. When I graduate next spring, I will not have any student loan debt. I will have paid approximately $2,300 for my bachelor's degree.
It was actually a nice piece on Michaela Stevens, and she's a great success story of how Lorain County Community College can make a difference all the way when you're starting in high school through college, saving lots of money. And in that piece, I don't know if you noticed or not, Brian, the professor that Michaela was working with, she was a psychology student, was none other than the head women's coach here at the college, Dr. Vince Granito. He's in his 15th year of a professor of psychology on our campus. Dr. Granito grabs that loose ball.
He's everywhere on this campus.
Have you had him in class?
I haven't had him. I have. I feel bad. I can't remember her last name, but her first name is Sabrina. I know that. But she's my psychology teacher for this semester.
13-4 as we start the second quarter. Columbus State with good defense. Active hands by Haley Thomas Spiegel.
I was getting ready to grab that ball.
Gallagher with the basketball. Bree leads the team in assists. Averages 3 a game. Billings with the ball is a double-double woman for this team. 13 rebounds, 13 points. Gannon's the defensive specialist. Moore's going to have to fire it. Shot clock hit 0. Patience is good, but you need to pay attention too.
They were passing the ball. They got a little bit too non-selfish as they were throwing the ball away, and you got to credit this Cougars defense too, because they're playing the press defense and not giving them not giving the Commodores any shot to at the basket.
Baseline look. Gallagher coming up playing good defense. Gannon closed from the backside.
And Coach G's getting exactly what he wanted. He wants this to be a defensive matchup. He doesn't want anything coming easy for this Cougars team.
Well, the Cougars average 78 points per game. So the more the Commodore defense can limit their possessions, and that's 3 straight looks at it offensively, as Thomas Spiegel scores the bucket. But the more you can keep them off the offensive end, obviously the better.
Ooh, showing the fresh moves. A little too fancy with that pass, but she was that was Smith going up the court, showing some fine moves with this full court press that the Cougars are running right now.
Thomas Spiegel right into the defense, and that's a charge. Kelsey Gannon did a great job of taking that charge. She's smiling with pride right now. She's so happy with herself that her face is turning red.
I was going to say she's lighting up there like a Christmas bulb.
Personal foul on number 5, Haley Thomas Spiegel, her first, team first.
Well, that press is giving the Commodores some trouble. Gallagher with good defense on Thomas Spiegel. Haley could not get the shot off.
The Cougars, checking in for the Cougars, number 23.
Thomas Spiegel will take a seat. Madison Miles checking in. Miles, a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 7 points per game off the bench. That's a good scoring coming off your bench. Warren Gallagher bringing it up. Smith will shoot it.
She's got a high arc on that shot. Looked good going up. Unfortunately, there's a lid on that basket for Brandis Smith today.
Nelson with the scoop, drew the foul. It will go against Venetia Billings. For Venetia, that will be her first.
Commodore personal foul, number 20. V. Billings in first, team first.
Maya McDonald has checked in now for the Commodores. Maya wears number 24, the 5'2" freshman guard out of Avon.
And you want to talk about a size difference compared to this Cougars team.
Yeah, Maya's 5'2". She replaced Brandis Smith, who's listed as 5'6", but I'd like to measure Brandis out. I don't know that she's 5'6". I think that might be a benefit of the home team that's putting the program together.
A little bit of an over judgment there.
4-0 run right now for Columbus State. Billings with defense chasing her. Venetia's on the floor. They're tying it up, and the Cougars are going to get the ball back.
Jump ball possession to the Cougars.
That defense, Brian, right now is making the difference for Columbus State.
They're playing press, and they're not. As you can see, the Cougars, the Commodores are going to start playing press too to try to. Looks like they're going to try to start running with this team to see what they can do, which is what Coach Granita didn't want them to do for this game.
Columbus State's quickness is giving the Commodores trouble on both sides of the floor right now, both offensively and defensively. Moore's going to get tied up. Commodores will keep it. Smith back in for Moore.
Checking in for the Commodores, number 2, Brandis.
Looked like that foul was looked like that that grab ball was a little bit too hard there. Getting a little chippy for this game so far.
Smith will inbound it. Cutters Gallagher. Shot was blocked, but blocked with a foul.
Cougar personal fouls on number 21. Sarasia Nelson.
Haley Sprouse has checked back in. Kelsey Gannon will get a well-deserved break. Gannon really putting forth the effort defensively right now.
That's our track star, and she has been running all over this court, making it a little bit hard for this Cougars team to score the ball.
This is Gallagher at the foul line. Bree on the season, 64% from the foul line. That foul was on Sarasia Nelson. That was Sarasia's first. Bates with a basketball pass, or a football pass, I should say, on the basketball floor. That's Nelson with a 12-foot jump shot.
Going for that Hail Mary.
Sprouse will bring it up. Trailer is Smith, and Nelson stole the basketball. Nelson's quick. Watch her go. Good defense there from Billings. Venetia tied it up. Cougars are going to get it back. Somebody once told me the Bigs, the Giants, got to keep the ball up, not bring it down where the mice can eat the cheese. They'd say the basketball was a piece of cheese, and if you brought it down low, the mice are going to eat it. Of course, the mice would be the guards. An old-time basketball coach.
Gotcha.
Nelson is a one-woman wrecking crew right now. She's got 7 of the 13, and the game's just a 1-point game. Billings will chase the loose ball. Smith will shoot it again. That one was partially blocked. It's getting kind of sloppy right now for the Commodores. They were up 11-2, and that has disappeared.
That defense that the Cougars are putting on them right now is also having an effect on the shooting here. Still seems to be a lid for Brandon Smith. She's trying to shoot out of a slump here.
Commodores not getting back on defense leads to that. Columbus State with the easy look. Mikhail Bates with the layup, and Coach Granito wants a timeout. His team needs it. They were up 11-2. Since that time, it's a 13-3 run for Columbus State. So suddenly, you've given the Cougars reason to believe after that, the way that first quarter was handled. Commodores were clearly in control, but the defensive pressure, Brian, has made the difference in the second quarter of this basketball game.
And if you take a look, it looks like Brandon Smith is trying to readjust her bandages on her shoulder. That shoulder is probably having a pretty big effect on her shooting ability because she's not a bad shooter. And it's having a big time effect. It looks like she's taking the bandages off so she can have a little bit more free moving ability to for later on in this game.
Ashley Elliott has checked into the game for the Commodores. Elliott from Keystone High School, first-year player, 5'9" forward. Commodores clearly in a funk right now.
The size difference also having a big ability on them too, because this team does have some shooters on it, but their bread and butter is getting the ball on the inside.
Nelson with the drive and the bucket. Fouls on Gallagher.
Number 11, Bree Gallagher.
They're going to say the foul was on the floor, so the basket will not count. There will be no free throws involved. Billings with a block. Sprouse will bring it up. Maya McDonald with a ball fake. Billings, that defense is swarming. Even when there's a small crease, it closes quickly.
Very quickly. Nothing is coming easy for this Commodores team.
Billings shot partially blocked. Thomas Spiegel with the basketball for Columbus State. Nelson is the offensive player right now that the Commodores are having all sorts of trouble with. Sprouse with, actually that's Gallagher with good help defense. She fronted Key, stole a basketball from her.
The Commodores need to calm down and try to play this game at their pace on their side of the floor. The defense is making that a little tough, but if they can start playing their type of game, which is getting to the inside of the basket, making it easy shots, they can get back into this game.
Shot clock's at 2. Sprouse will fire the 3 with defense in her face. Haley Sprouse with 6.
That was a much-needed bucket from Haley Sprouse.
Well, you are right. Billings with a block of Nelson. Nelson got it right back. Long 3. Sprouse goes up for it. Ball's loose on the floor. Billings will tie it up. They'll tie up V. Commodores will have the basketball as Gannon and Simmerly, a couple of Kelseys, check in. McDonald and Elliott will sit for the Commodores, both with great minutes for Coach Granito off that Commodore bench. Simmerly in the middle. V will shoot it outside the arc.
Took a prayer on that one, trying to see if she was making something happen on the out of the side of the paint.
Commodore simply just did not get back. They had plenty of time to get back. Malia Walder just sat on the other end of the floor calling for the basketball. It was seconds before they got it to her.
Cougar personal fouls number 20. Malia Walder, her second, team third, checking in for the Cougars, number 5, Haley Thomas Spiegel.
So Bree Gallagher gets the inbound, and she walks it to the middle of the floor. This is Kelsey Simmerly along the baseline, little floater. Bates quickly down the floor, looking right. There's Thomas Spiegel. Now this is Nelson. It's a long miss.
A little bit too strong.
Yeah, Gannon will pull down the rebound. Game's tied at 17. It was a quick start by Lorain County Community College. They jumped out to an 11-2 lead. Sprouse has already made 2 of those. That one's long. Simmerly and Bates went up for it. And Thomas Spiegel knocked it out of bounds.
These ladies on this Commodores team are tough. They're getting knocked around this court right now, and they're showing that they have the tenacity to stay up with this Columbus Cougars team.
Mikhail Bates in the kitchen of Bree Gallagher. Inside 3 minutes left in this opening half. Men's game will follow. Doubleheader day today. Sprouse missed it right. Gannon's rebound wouldn't go. Billings with it. She's fouled. V will shoot free throws.
They're fighting for every rebound that they can. They're fighting for every basket that they can. And I would say the Gannon has been the big story for this game so far, because she has been everywhere on this team. She's been the utility for this team so far.
She's scored too, part of that utility. Which, you know, Kelsey, scores 4 points a game, but she's already got 4 she had them in the first quarter too.
Showing she can do everything. She's the Jose Ramirez of this team.
Venetia Billings with 4.
Checking in for the Commodores.
Subs in again.
Zaya Moore and
Ariana Johnson. Adriana Johnson seeing her first action tonight, this afternoon. The freshman, the first-year player out of Midview. She wears number 30.
Coach G has been very active today too, with all these passes coming at him.
checking in for the Commodores, Kelsey Simmerly.
Still got a little bit of quickness to him. I think he just turned 55.
I bet he can still move with the men's basketball team if he wanted to play.
Gannon, couple of ball fakes. Created that look. Key secured it to Bates. Bates on that left wing. This is Nelson with Gannon on her. So Kelsey Gannon is Coach Granito's defensive specialist, and he has put her back in the game to guard Sarasia Nelson, because Nelson has been, she's been a challenge. She's got 7 of the 17 for the Cougars.
She's been going on a tear, but Coach G is getting what they want out of the defensive plays here. As you see this, unfortunately, as you see this fast break go down. But for most of the game, they have been stopping the fast break as it's been going, and this team is fast, and they've been doing a good job of stopping that fast break and those quick scores.
Foul on the play, it will go against Madison Miles. That is Miles' first. It is the 5th team foul for Columbus State in the second quarter, so that will send Ariana Johnson to the foul line.
At the line for the Commodores, Ariana Johnson.
Nelson got that one to roll over the front of the rim. It's the difference in the game right now, that 1 point. Gannon and Nelson working against each other. Kelsey doing a great job keeping her hips and her feet straight.
That's some smothering defense there from Gannon.
Simmerly almost picked the pass.
She almost picked it again.
Columbus State wants a full timeout. Minute 3 left in this opening half.
Timeout.
We're going to take a timeout as well. We've got a 60-second break coming your way.
This is something I always wanted to do. My mom and dad were both STNAs, and my mom actually went deeper into that, and she's a nurse currently in school for RN. And my dad still does it. I'm Tremere Blair.
I'm Syntasia Solomon. I'm in the STNA program at Lorain County Community College.
I'm part of the apprenticeship program at Lutheran Home in West.
36 seconds left, opening half. Some discussion over the clock, and the clock just went dark. We're having all sorts of technical issues actually inside the building today. As you can tell with our broadcast, we're in and out intermittently. Now the scoreboards, if one is off, one is halfway on, but it's not accurate.
Something's happening.
Now the one on the southern end of the, well, it just went off again. It's a gremlin in the building. It's messing with our broadcast technically, and it's messing with the scoreboards right now. One scoreboard looks like Christmas is over, the tree's been packed away, and then the other one's about half lit. That's what happens when you're the dad and you're lighting your Christmas tree. You get about halfway through it, and then all the bulbs, half of them go out. And that's when you rediscover that you...
Yeah. I had to deal with that at my job over at the Sherwin-Williams. I had to do it because I'm in charge of putting the tree up, all that good stuff, and we found out that all of our bulbs were done after we plugged them in.
So look at the crowd inside the Ewing Activities Center today on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, hey, Ron, I see us too.
Is your dad watching right now, Brian?
I think so. Yeah. When I left, he was taking a nap with our dog. So,
well, probably got a nice warm bowl of soup and a blanket sitting there watching his son call this college basketball game.
Yeah. Hopefully this time because I think the last time I gave him a shout out too, he didn't hear me. So one more time, Dad, I'm saying hello from Lorain County Community College.
So there you see the tale of the tape so far. Commodores 20, the Cougars 19. We're just 36 seconds out from wrapping up this first half. The storyline's gone like this. Columbus State comes in, been ranked in the top 20 in the nation most of the first part of this year. Now we're into the second half of the season as we hit mid-February. Commodores have played well in their last 6 games, including 3 wins. LCCC jumped off to an 11-2 lead in this game in the first quarter, but Columbus State went on a 13-3 run and tightened things up, and it has pretty much stayed within a basket since that time. That's where we're at right now. I think we're ready to play basketball.
Looks like we got the scoreboards back up now.
Simmerly finds Johnson, and Ariana will find Kelsey back. Only about a 10-second differential between shot and game clock. Gannon and Billings. V got her shot blocked by Key. That's Key's 5th block shot. This is Nelson. There's Gannon's defense. Boy, Kelsey Gannon just does a nice job playing defense.
So she might be making a run for Defensive Player of the Year with the way that she's playing today.
Moore will shoot it. She can make it from out there, and she does. Zaya Moore wants you to not believe in her. She wants the defense to look at her and say, go ahead, because she will. And more times than not, she's going to make it. 23-19, Commodores with a 4-point lead at halftime. Brian, thoughts on that first half?
what we saw from Coach Granita with the way that they wanted to play this game. They're getting it with the defensive pressure. The Cougars have been starting to play a little bit more defensive pressure as well. The Commodores are going into this second half with a little bit more momentum than they had going into this game, and this second half is going to be fun to watch.
We'll take a 14-minute break, and we'll be back with that second half in about 14 minutes. Thank you.
My original interest in computer science was I wanted to be a game developer. The games that I was playing, it was something that I wanted to create. I'm a computer programmer. My name's Matthew Augusta. I'm from Lorraine. Brand Muscle uses technology to help large corporations to really own the local market. We're really the muscle behind the brand of big companies. I work here in downtown Clayton. I love working down here. I really wouldn't have this type of experience without my education through Lorraine County Community College. With the help from Early College High School, I was able to get an early degree and be able to get a jump start on my bachelor's degree. For my bachelor's degree, we have a senior design program, and what I had created with my team was an automated drum set. If I could be anything, I would probably be a drummer in a big band. It was the talk of the town. Every group came down to see it. We had a crowd of people. It was like a concert, and we were the rock stars. I would say I'm very geeky, yeah. I think being a geek is pretty cool in my book.
Flex Factor is a 5-week-long program that is designed to inspire, attract, and recruit young students into advanced manufacturing technologies. I'm Deanna Hersko. I'm the program coordinator for Flex Factor here at Lorraine County Community College. Students have spent the last 5 weeks preparing to solve a problem using technology, building a business plan around that, and selling it today to a panel of business and industry folks, Shark Tank style.
I'm Amaya Keller, and I'm a student at LCCC for early college. Our product was the Jam Pen, which helps solve stress. The pen has sensors that are on the side of it that can detect how fast your heart is beating. It was a mix of learning how to talk to people and persuading them into wanting a product that we made. It just made me more aware of how much is truly happening in the world, and it makes me want to do something to solve it.
There are many things I want to do. I'm just grateful to have all the opportunities that I have in front of me. I'm Julian Colbert. Lorraine County Community College for me allowed me to go at the pace that I wanted to go. Some people might say I'm ahead in some ways, and this has definitely propelled me forward. At the end of May, I'll graduate from Clearview High School. I am going to the Ohio State University in the fall. I earned the Moral Scholarship at Ohio State. The basis of the essay for the scholarship, in a sense, was for me to explain what diversity and inclusion means to me. It goes a little beyond race, deeper into socioeconomic backgrounds. Being mixed, I can sort of fit in with both white and black kids and see both sides of the equation. I was able to cross lines more than most people were, and for a long time I didn't even realize what I was doing. I have to be strong and stable in a way to where I can be relied upon and be the backbone for other people. And that is what I'm most excited for.
We are Lorraine County Community College.
We respond first in a crisis.
We teach your children.
We protect your community.
We
Here's your halftime score as we take a look at the floor camera angle. Bree Gallagher running across for the Commodores, joining her team in the huddle. About 30 seconds away, Brian. Official gets hit with a basketball. From the start of the second half, you've got the stat sheet in front of you, Brian. What stands out after one half of play?
Well, when we started play in the first half, Venetia Billings wasn't on the floor because her nails were too long, and she still came in and made a huge impact with 6 rebounds and 4 points coming off the bench, even though she was slated as a starter.
I think you need to repeat why she wasn't in the game to begin with.
Her nails were too long. Don't want anybody getting scratched or poked with too long of nails. Those don't really come in handy. But I want to say that the story for the Commodores so far, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and it's the way that they're playing defense, especially with Gannon and how she's been running up and down the floor. She's been, I would say, she's been the star for this game so far with her defensive play.
3-point shot did not go to start this second half. Similarly went up high to grab that rebound. Commodores will have the basketball. You know, you mentioned Gannon's defense. The defense was on display against Sarasia Nelson, because when Kelsey was not on Sarasia, she scored at will, or at least she dribble drive to the basket, had an opportunity to score every time she wanted to. Gannon shut that down. Here's been the problem breaking this press.
Commodores got lucky with that one.
Brian, what were the turnovers in that first half, each team?
Let me locate that on the stat sheet.
Simmerly and Gallagher will bring it up for the Commodores. Lorain County Community College up 4 at halftime, 23-19.
For each team, 11 for Columbus and 11 for the Lorain County Community College.
Yeah, it's a lot of turnovers, and you know they've continued here in this third quarter.
There's this has been a huge defensive matchup for both teams, and Coach G has to be proud of what the Commodores are doing so far with this game, because this is exactly what he wanted them to do, is just play defense and make sure that they can't run.
Simmerly staying tough, battling Mikhail Bates for the basketball. Simmerly, the first-year player out of Avon Lake. Kelsey averaging 5 points, 4 rebounds per game for the Commodores. It's Nelson with that shot that didn't go. Commodores can't keep it. Traveling. Sarasia Nelson with the travel. Like to see them force her left. Her typical move is ball fake or crossover dribble left to right, driving right. Who knows?
I think the Commodores are starting to see that too, because Nelson hasn't been showing up too big here since Simmerly or Gannon has come onto the floor.
It is a turnover fest right now in this basketball game.
Everybody's sharing the ball with everybody.
This is key inside. Defensively, she's been a handful, and that was easy for her on the offensive side. That's only her second basket. Press again, really giving the Commodores all sorts of fits. Haley Sprouse will check in for Kelsey Simmerly.
And it's not only the press defense, and I've been saying it all game, but the size does matter in this game. This press defense, and they can't throw the ball over their heads because it just gets stolen.
Gallagher trapped immediately, gets it off to Gannon. He only had 3 seconds to get it over because they had 7. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, to be honest with you.
That was very
They gave him the
interesting.
10-second violation. but they had the ball after the tie-up, and they made the substitution. Basketball is Brian LaRocco is helping out with the basketball.
Hey, Ron, I got into the game.
Yeah, you did. It's an assist. It's a tough rebound there by Kelsey Gannon. Venetia Billings dribbled, picked it up, dribbled again. Forgot that she had stopped her dribble.
Sloppy basketball from both teams here coming out with this second half so far.
I'm not sure that the Commodores have gotten a shot off yet in the first 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
I think that was the first time they'd gotten past half court for the first half.
That has got to be an offensive foul, and it was. Nelson just dropped her shoulder and was going to knock over anybody in her way.
Got a little bit rough there with that. She was looking for the blocking foul, and I'm going to go in charge.
It's the best way to break a press. Pass the basketball. This is Elliott with it. Ashley's going to shoot free throws.
Personal fouls on number 5.
Fouls on Haley Thomas Spiegel. It is her second. This will be Ashley Elliott at the free throw line.
Ashley Elliott.
First point of the second half for the Commodores. Took them about 2.5 minutes to get it. Luckily, though, their defenses kept the Cougars at bay as well. Lead is at 3 for Lorain County Community College. Walder with the rebound and the putback.
These trap defenses are giving Commodores big-time trouble as they cannot get past half court.
Gannon will get trapped again.
Gallagher missed a open Haley Sprouse on the other end of the court.
Thomas Spiegel will kick it back to Bates. Mikhail Bates, nice pass inside. Looking for a three-point play will be Malia Walder.
Commodore personal fouls on number 14. Haley Sprouse, her third.
Fouls on Sprouse. Brenda Smith will check in for Haley Sprouse. That's Haley's third foul, so she'll take a seat.
Smith is going to be the one to watch in this go around of her on the floor, because she was not too good on her shooting in the first half. We want to see if she can get a little bit better on in the second half here.
It's a 2-point Columbus State lead. That is their largest lead of the game. They've only led one other time in this game, and that was at 15-14. Courtesy of a 13-3 run after the Commodores had opened up an 11-2 lead to start the game. This is Smith. She'll stop and shoot. Gallagher to Elliott. Ashley's shot is good.
Big bucket there for the Commodores. Big necessary bucket.
Jump ball.
Commodores are just giving up possessions when they bring that ball down.
Possession Cougars.
Venetia's got to keep that ball above her shoulders. That way if somebody goes up to get it, they're going to foul her. Bring it down, they tie it up. Possession arrows in favor of the Cougars. They get it back.
This Commodores team is showing that they're one of their biggest ways to play this game is by tying up the ball and making sure that they get the ball back.
The ball, possession, Commodores.
Press is on. Elliott will float to the middle. Second assist of the game for Brian LaRocco. Brian, is there a magnet over there by you?
I mean, it seems like it. They must really want me to get in the game here. I just didn't pack my sneakers.
Gallagher doubling down on defense, doing a nice job.
Great defense.
Deflected the pass and then stole it. This is Gannon. Elliott. Ashley's got 3 points. Shot blocked again by Key. How many block shots did Key have in the first half, Brian?
She had 5 in the first half.
Nice look back from Bates, passing it to Malia Walder. Walder's got 8 points.
And this press defense is making a nuisance for the Commodores, but there was 5 for Key in the first half when it came to blocks.
Checking in for the Commodores, Kelsey Simo.
This is Key on the inbound. Nelson with that ball fake. Key will shoot over Billings, and ball tipped out of bounds off the Cougars. Commodore still trying to figure out how to break this press. They have scored only 1 basket in this third quarter. Got a shot from the field and 1 free throw. That's it. Ball tied up. Cougars will keep it.
Commodore is still playing very scrappy here, though. They're trying to get back into this game by playing the same way that the Cougars are. The Cougars just have that size advantage that make it a lot more difficult to play with them.
Zaya Moore has checked in. 2-on-2 break. Errant pass. We'll give the ball back to the Commodores. Moore's in with 5 first half points, including a 3-point shot right in front of us. Moore and Simmerly. Ball stolen. Bates picks it, hands it off to Nelson. They lay it up. Saraja lays it in. Simmerly to Elliott. Ashley, shot blocked by Key. Kelsey's going to chase it down. Commodore's trying to find the basket. Having a hard time right now.
Their confidence getting shook by this full court press defense.
Fouls on Haley Thomas Spiegel. That is her 3rd.
Commodores need to calm down the pace here. Just get it up half court and then let everybody reset instead of trying to run with this team, because this team is too big and too fast and too strong.
Foul's going to go against Sprouse.
Personal fouls on number 14, Haley Sprouse, number 4, team 3rd. Checking in for the Commodores, Bree Gallagher.
Nelson will get the inbound. Cougars will keep it, their 3rd look in this possession. two issues right now working against the Commodores. One, defensive rebounds, giving up too many offensive rebounds. And the second one, breaking the press.
Right now, it just seems the Cougars are just in control, and they only have a 4-point lead.
It's remarkable that it's just a 4-point lead. Bodies on the floor. Another jump possession. Possession arrow, Columbus State.
It's almost like a welterweight boxing match. They don't swing for the fences when in the welterweight division. They just go for the tiny jabs, and then as it goes on, they're looking for the points at the end.
Fouls on number 10.
Fouls on Kelsey Simmerly. That's going to send Mikhail Bates to the free throw line. Bates will shoot 2.
At the line, Mikhail Bates. And checking in for the Cougars, number 25, Angelique Key.
Bates with 5 points, and that's where the lead's at right now. It's 31-26.
Good run. These Commodores aren't out of it yet, but the way that this press defense is playing, it seems like they've been out of it the entire game.
McDonald will break it. This is Moore. Zaya will shoot it. Commodores still looking for a basket. Bates the other way.
She felt the presence of Gallagher there.
This third quarter has stood still. It has seemed like it's taken 30 minutes to play 10. Billings with the bucket. Her first of the second half. Coach Granito called a timeout after it. And his team down 3, remarkably down 3, with 2:18 left in this third quarter.
It's just been a big defensive matchup so far for this game. Even though most of the game has been played on the left side of the court, the Commodores are still putting up to the point to where they're not scoring here. They might be having a lot of possessions, but they're not scoring off of these possessions. They're getting these chances to score, especially when you talk about the offensive rebounds that they're getting.
You mean the Cougars?
The Cougars, yeah. The Cougars. They're getting these offensive rebounds and they're getting these extra possessions, but they're not doing anything.
They're not. Yeah.
And that comes from the Commodores playing as good defense as they're playing too. The only thing that the Commodore or the Cougars are playing a little bit better is the press. That's the big matchup here. It's not these two teams. It's the way that the Commodores can take away the press defense. They've started to a little bit as they go through this quarter, but they need to just get a little bit better as they go into this next quarter. Finish strong in this quarter and go on strong into the next quarter.
So Lorain County Community College will come out in the press. And Nelson's so quick off the dribble, she breaks it easily. Key inside, drawing that defense, creates that look. Billings and Simmerly will there. One of them will be called for the foul. Fouls on Billings. V's second.
Billings, her second. Team fifth.
Madison Miles at the free throw line.
Miles.
Miles just a 25% free throw shooter on a team that just shoots 60%. outside McHale Bates. Cougars really don't have a free throw shooter, but getting a ton of defensive rebounds. Moore is going to shoot it. Key keeps it alive. Billings will chase it down.
Good rebound. Get that extra possession.
Moore with a nice ball fake. Billings will shoot free throws.
This could cut it to a 1-point lead, especially with the way this third quarter's been. That's big going into the fourth.
Bates with 2 fouls. Billings with her third and fourth trip to the free throw line. She's got 6 points, 2 of 2 from the foul line in the opening half.
Check that on the foul. Cougars fouls on number 5, Haley Thomas Spiegel, her 4th. Team 4th.
The officials just changed the foul call. It's actually on 5, which is Haley Thomas Spiegel. It's significant, the change, because that's Thomas Spiegel's 4th foul. Gallagher with the steal.
Commodore's playing that trap defense now.
Moore with a 3. But believe it or not, the Commodores actually lead this ball game.
That's Kobe range right there. Saying, put some respect on me.
Billings with a block. Walder's going to shoot free throws.
Make them earn it at the line. This isn't a good free throw shooting team. See what they can do here.
Walder's 50-50, 51% on the season.
Madison Miles. At the line for the Cougars, number 20, Malia Walder.
Called that run. The stat sheet called that one.
That's where she's been. Billings will save it. Venetia will take it. She'll shoot free throws.
Personal fouls on number 25.
It's hard to believe after this third quarter that this is a tied game right now.
At the line for your Commodores, V. Billings.
Venetia Billings, 4 of 6. She's got 8 points. 4 of 6 from the foul line. Step back 3. Dropped by McHale Bates. She's got 8 points.
Both these teams are playing very scrappy right now.
Second, team 5th, and at the line, Malia Walder.
Walder with 9 points. She's got 7 of those. 9 in the third quarter. Moore, she'll launch it. That's an air ball.
Looking for a heat check there.
Checking in for the Commodores, number 2, Brandis Smith.
Smith in for Simmerly. 13.4 seconds left in the quarter. Gallagher almost stole it. They're going to say it went off Nelson.
Good defense there. Now it's time to play their game and keep it on the right side of the court.
Five seconds. Billings with the drive. Beautiful drive. Oh, V wants that one back. She had a bunny. 3 quarters in the books. 2-point game. Commodores down 2. It's 35-33. Columbus State after 3. We're going to take a timeout. We're having trouble today, some technical issues, so we're just going to, won't have a commercial for you, but we're going to take a short break during this third quarter end, and we'll be back in just a moment. Moore out top, take it in, and that's Key again. Another block shot. She had 5 in the first half.
She's got to be up to 8 at least now.
Nelson giving Gallagher trouble. Shot clock's at 10. This Billings out in a place she does not want to be. Smith with the long 3.
There's just been a lid on there for Smith today.
Comes Nelson. Call the offensive foul. Nice job by Brandis Smith taking the charge. So for Nelson, it's her 3rd. Well, if they could find a way to get her out of the game foul-wise. She's just a great player. I mean, not only offensively with that crossover dribble that she's got, but defensively, her quickness and pressure has given this team all sorts of trouble.
She can move up the court very quickly. She has the ball handling skills to make the defensive miss. She's been the big factor for the Cougars today. And that was an excellent timeout there from Isaiah Moore. Especially when she got trapped down there. That's a perfect way to call a timeout and get the ball back into keep the ball in the Commodores' hands.
Low-scoring game. This is a Columbus State team that averages 78 points per game. They're at 35 into the fourth quarter. Commodores this year have struggled the entire year scoring. They've only averaged 57 points per game, so not much below that right now, but their defense has done very well today against this Columbus State team, who comes in ranked in the top 20 in the country, 14-5 on the season. Gliding drive by Mikhail Bates. She's got 10. Not sure that's the kind of shot you want. Even that one. I mean, the Commodores have all but given up trying to shoot a mid-range jumper or drive into the lane and draw a foul, shoot free throws, or score a basket.
They're playing like they only have 2 minutes left to go in the game. It's hard for them to get in on the inside, especially with this big, strong Cougars team. But they're losing their stride now, and they're losing their confidence with the way they're shooting.
Nelson's got 11. The lead is at 6, the largest it's been. Billings will follow her own shot. The miss with the make.
Big time shot there, keeping this Commodores team in the game.
Commodore personal fouls on number 32, Kelsey Gannon, her first.
Fouls on Gannon. Nelson will shoot a quick 3. Columbus State keeps it.
Can't be mad at Billings for that.
You get 3 looks, you're bound to make one of them.
First shot.
Smith the other way, her first basket. Gallagher looking right, finds her teammate Moore. Foul will go against Mikhail Bates. This is the 3rd foul on Bates.
You feel the pace starting to quicken up just a little bit here for the Commodores. They're starting to get a little bit more energy and they're trying to get back into this game as much as they can.
Check that. It's their second. Team second.
Billings with good defense. To Smith. Brandis right at the basket. She's going to shoot free throws as she's fouled by Nelson, and that's Nelson's 4th.
Brandon Smith starting to make her presence known here.
Honestly, Brian, if I'm Coach Granito, I call a timeout. I tell my guards, I want you to take it right at Nelson. She's got 4 fouls. She's the offensive threat that has kept this engine moving for Columbus State. And if they can get her out of the game foul-wise, she's got 4. Drive right at her.
I'd say drive right at everybody right now because they're with the way this Cougars team is playing, their hands are they're making sure their hands are always on bodies. And if they can get if the refs can see the fouls happening, they can get a lot of these players out so far.
Brandis Smith coming through in the clutch with 2 big free throws.
Brandis Smith making her presence known here.
2-point game.
At a perfect time, too. She is coming in. She has that clutch factor in her genes.
Nelson just dribbling by everybody. They can't contain her. And if she doesn't have the open look, she creates the open look for one of her teammates like she did Key there.
Coach Granito trying to calm down his girls there.
This is Gallagher with the basketball. Venetia Billings going to shoot free throws.
Now they're starting to respect her, respect Moore's shooting ability there, trying to double teaming her so that she can't shoot the ball. Now it's opening up for Billings there to get under the basket.
Fouls on Walder, that's her third. This is Billings. She is 4 of 6 from the foul line this afternoon. Venetia's got 10 points. Doubled down on by Gallagher. Boy, great job by Bree Gallagher, helping out her teammate Venetia Billings.
Especially on the center, who is taller than everybody else on the court. That's great defense.
Gallagher and Gannon fighting for that ball. Bree's going to grab the rebound. So the Commodores with a chance to tie it with a 3 or come within 1. The 5:30 mark left in this basketball game. Kelsey with a strong move, shot over King that time. Walder down the floor to Bates. Bates will control it. Cougars will get another look. Nelson. Keys in the lane. Coach Granito calling out for a 3. Moore's going to lose it in the backcourt. Commodores got to feel like there are 10 Cougars on the floor right now, not 5.
They're swarming. This defense is crazy. I've never seen anything like this in any college game or any pro game. I've never seen anything like this.
Smith will spot up from way out.
Beautiful shot. Tie this game up. She's starting to feel it.
Gallagher's on Nelson. Nelson playing with 4 fouls. Remember that. She is the straw that stirs this mix. Mikhail Bates with a 3.
That was a big answer.
She's got 2 of those in the second half. 13 points. Sprouse looking for an opening. Here comes Bates with it the other way. Nice pass. Well, just like that, they go from tie game to down 5.
Oh, that was hard to watch not fall.
Walder with 13. It's the largest lead of the game for either team. Take that back. It was 11-2 real early. Commodores led by 9. Fouls on Key. That is her third. Smith's going to go back to the foul line to shoot 2.
There's still a lot of basketball to be played here, Ron.
Well, especially with the amount of fouls that have been called in this game. Clock's going to stop a lot, so that 3:30 is going to seem like a lot longer.
Brandon Smith at the line.
Brandon Smith has showed up big time in this fourth quarter.
She got 9 points, all of them coming in the second half. Now that Commodore defense needs a stop. That was easy. Mikhail Bates put on a dribbling expedition. She's got 15, 11 in the second half.
Columbus State is like, boom, timeout.
Commodores down 7. We're inside 3.5 minutes left in this basketball game. Key's going to step up and steal that. Gallagher will get it back. Here's Smith, one-on-one. Brandis will take the shot, and it will roll off the rim. Nelson tied up, triple teamed. Columbus State called a timeout. Their coach, Brian Allgood, had called a timeout when he saw his player Nelson surrounded by a forest of Commodores. So Coach Granita will huddle up with his team. Still in it.
So a lot of game to be played here.
Sprouse and Gallagher, Moore, Smith, and Billings on the floor for Lorain County Community College. Come out in the press. They've got some points to make up. Haley Sprouse with a nice job with those long arms extending into the passing lane. Otherwise, that's another layup.
They're still playing good defense. This Commodores team is not out of it. As I say that, these lanes are just opening up for this Cougars team.
Bates is 17. Nelson's got 13. Leads now 9. V. Billings. Manisha Billings with 13 of her own. Cougars content to really work that clock. It's in their favor to do it. Walder with the inside look. She's got 15. You look at their scoring. Bates has got 17. Walder's got 15. Nelson's got 13. And then after those three, Brian, there are only 2 other players that have scored. One's Key, their big inside, the 6'2" post player who has been a defensive just
presence.
And the other one's Madison Miles off the bench. She has 1 basket. So the scoring has really come from 3 players on this Columbus State team.
And they're showing how they can score too with the threes and getting on the inside. They have the scoring advantage here. Obviously they have the scoring advantage here, but you can tell these girls know how to get to the open basket.
Nelson to Key. Key is 8. Commodores will have the basketball. That tie up in favor of them, possession arrow wise. Game's getting a little chippy right now.
Both these teams, the Commodores are getting frustrated with the way the Cougars are playing, and the Cougars are playing very hard, and they're playing rough.
And Venetia Billings has had enough of it.
Jump ball possession, Commodores.
Taylor James has checked in for Columbus State. Now they're trying to figure out whose basketball it was or is. The possession arrow was in favor of the Commodores when the tie-up happened with Billings and with Bates. So when they brought both teams back out into the floor, they kind of separated them a little bit because it did get a little chippy. Mm-hmm. They gave the ball to the Commodores on the side, and now they're discussing whether or not it's the Cougars basketball. I'm not sure how it can be the Cougars basketball.
I think they just gave it back to the Commodores.
Correction, Commodore basketball.
I think they were trying to see if there was a foul on Billings when she ripped her arms out of the tie-up.
Cougars will have it now.
Possession, Columbus State.
Good steal by Gallagher, or Gannon.
Commodores need to score. They need to score quickly.
Jump ball, possession, Commodores.
This Cougars team is throwing around the Commodores, and they're not being too sportsmanlike on the floor. If I'm seeing this correctly, it's been a very rough and tumble game for this Commodores team.
Kelsey Simmerly with the basket. Her coach, Vince Granito, calls a timeout immediately. It's Kelsey's first basket of the afternoon. 60-40.
Timeout, Commodores.
7. It stopped a 10-0 run that Columbus State was on. I think they're due largely in part by their defense. What I mean by that is the steals in the backcourt on the press.
This second half has lived on the left side of the court. It hasn't been anywhere near what this Commodores team wanted, or Coach Granita. It's been a very rough game for the Commodores.
.24 seconds left. Shot clock's at 12. Simmerly blocked the shot. Gannon chased it down. This ball game's over. 60-49, Columbus State over Lorain County Community College. With the win, the Cougars improved to 15-5 on the season. They go to 6-2 in conference play, and the Commodores drop to 6-17. They are now 2-6 in conference play. Brian, the men are next. I don't think there's much more to say about that game that we haven't said already, so why don't we just say goodnight to it. Men are warming up behind us, ready to get on the floor to take their warm-ups on the court. They'll do that. We're 20 minutes out from that game. We'll be back in 20 with the men matching up against the Cougars of Columbus State.